Hello, night traveler. This is Linus, your dreamweaver from Magical Nights. Snuggle into your blanket and let your imagination run wild as we venture into the enchanted paths of magical and fantastic tales. Tonight, we will explore the luminous Shadow Forest, where magic and danger intertwine. Bridget, a fearless explorer, is called to uncover the secrets of this ancient sanctuary. Facing mystical creatures and a powerful guardian, she must prove her worth. What will be the fate of this enchanted forest? Ready to dream? Deep in Ireland, where green hills meet the blue sky and crystal clear rivers wind through blooming fields, there lies a magical place known as the luminous Shadow Forest. This forest is an ancient sanctuary, a sacred refuge where shadows dance in the starlight and magic permeates every leaf and stone. It is a place where reality and the mystical intertwine, creating an atmosphere of enchantment and mystery. The Celts, a people deeply connected to nature, believed the forest was inhabited by supernatural beings and held ancient secrets. Legends spoke of fairies, dryads, and ancestral spirits who protected the forest and communicated with those possessing a pure heart and an open mind. Druids, the wise ones of old, frequented the forest seeking inspiration and guidance from the gods and nature spirits. The luminous Shadow Forest is a place of breathtaking beauty. During the day, sunlight filters through the tree canopies, creating a play of light and shadow that seems to bring the forest to life. The trees are tall and sturdy, covered in moss and ivy, and the ground is adorned with vibrant wildflowers. Small streams wind through the forest, their crystal clear waters reflecting the blue sky and the green of the trees. At night, the forest transforms into a realm of wonders. The shadows come to life, dancing in the light of the stars and the moon. It is said that on full moon nights, the shadows form figures and shapes that tell ancient stories, tales of heroes and gods, of lost loves and epic battles. The air is always filled with a sweet, earthy fragrance, a blend of flowers, moss, and damp soil. The Celts performed rituals and celebrations to honor the forest spirits. These ceremonies were held in secret clearings, where the Druids lit bonfires and chanted ancient songs. They offered gifts to the spirits, such as food, flowers, and handcrafted items, in exchange for protection and blessings. The luminous Shadow Forest was considered a portal to the world of gods and spirits, a place where the veil between worlds was thin. Besides the ceremonies, the forest was a place of learning and reflection. The village elders would tell stories around the fires, passing down wisdom and teachings to the younger generations. It was a place where history and tradition met, creating a link between the past and the present. The secrets of the forest were passed down from generation to generation, ensuring that ancestral knowledge was never forgotten. The magic of the luminous Shadow Forest was not limited to supernatural beings. The flora and fauna of the forest were also unique and special. Medicinal plants with healing properties grew abundantly, and rare animals, considered sacred, inhabited the depths of the forest. The Celts believed that every living being in the forest had a purpose and a role to play in the great tapestry of life. In this magical and mystical setting, we meet Bridget, a young explorer, brave and determined, who feels an irresistible attraction to the unknown. Her curiosity and adventurous spirit will lead her to explore the luminous Shadow Forest, where she will discover a world that challenges her imagination and understanding. Bridget's journey is about to begin, and the forest eagerly awaits her arrival. Bridget was a young free spirit, known for her courage and determination. From a young age, she showed an unusual interest in the world around her, always curious, always exploring. She grew up in the village of Dunsirane, a picturesque and peaceful place, surrounded by green hills and blooming fields. Life in the village was tranquil, with its inhabitants living in harmony with nature. With brown hair that shone in the sun and green eyes like the hills, Bridget had a natural beauty that reflected her connection to the land. Her smile was warm, and her presence brought a sense of peace and safety. However, it was her indomitable spirit and will to explore that set her apart. She was driven by an insatiable curiosity and a deep desire to uncover the world's secrets. Her family, made up of farmers and artisans, always encouraged her to follow her dreams. Her father, a man of wisdom and patience, taught her the importance of nature and respecting ancient Celtic customs. Her mother, a skilled artisan, showed her the beauty of creation and art. Both knew Bridget had a special calling, something that connected her to nature's mysteries. It was during one of the annual village celebrations, where stories and legends were told around bonfires, that Bridget first heard about the luminous shadow forest. The stories spoke of a magical place where shadows came to life and mystical beings dwelled. They said those who ventured into the forest could find priceless treasures or face unimaginable dangers. These stories ignited a flame in Bridget's heart. She knew she needed to explore the forest and uncover its secrets. She began studying old maps and listening closely to the village elders' stories, preparing for the journey she knew was inevitable. One clear spring morning, she felt the time had come. She bid her family farewell, packed a backpack with essential supplies, and set off toward the unknown. Bridget felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. Crossing fields and hills, she felt more alive than ever. Every step brought her closer to the forest and its hidden mysteries. The landscape around her seemed to change, becoming wilder and untamed. The trees grew denser, and the sunlight barely penetrated the canopy, creating an environment of twilight and enchantment. Arriving at the entrance of the luminous shadow forest, Bridget paused for a moment, taking a deep breath and feeling the place's pulsating energy. The shadows danced around, and the air was filled with the fragrance of flowers and damp earth. With renewed determination, she took the first step into the forest, knowing her life would never be the same. As she walked through the forest, Bridget felt a deep connection to the nature around her. Every sound, smell, and sight seemed loaded with meaning. She knew this journey would be transformative, an opportunity for growth and discovery. With her heart full of hope and courage, Bridget pressed on, ready to face the challenges the luminous shadow forest had in store. The call to adventure came to Bridget unexpectedly. One full moon night, while gazing at the stars from her window, she heard a soft whisper carried by the wind. It was an ancient voice, full of wisdom and mystery, calling her to the forest. She felt a shiver down her spine, but also a growing excitement in her heart. She knew it was time to leave. With the first rays of the sun, Bridget prepared for the journey. She dressed in her most comfortable clothes, packed a backpack with essential supplies, and strapped a dagger to her waist. She bid her family farewell, who, although worried, understood her need to explore. Her father, with eyes shining with pride and concern, handed her a protective amulet, an ancient Celtic symbol passed down through generations. Crossing fields and hills, Bridget felt more alive than ever. Each step brought her closer to the forest and its hidden mysteries. The landscape around her seemed to change, becoming wilder and untamed. The trees grew denser, and the sunlight barely penetrated the canopy, creating an environment of twilight and enchantment. Arriving at the entrance of the luminous shadow forest, Bridget paused for a moment, taking a deep breath and feeling the place's pulsating energy. The shadows danced around, and the air was filled with the fragrance of flowers and damp earth. With renewed determination, she took the first step into the forest, knowing her life would never be the same. The walk through the forest was not easy. Early on, Bridget faced her first challenges. The terrain was uneven, with exposed roots and dense vegetation hindering her passage. Each step required attention and care. Additionally, the forest was full of strange sounds, like branches snapping and leaves rustling, keeping her constantly on alert. During a moment of distraction, Bridget stumbled over a root and fell, slightly injuring her knee. She felt a wave of frustration but quickly got up, brushing off the dirt and continuing her way. She wouldn't let small obstacles divert her from her goal. The determination in her heart was stronger than ever. As she advanced, Bridget found a crystal-clear stream cutting through the forest. The water was cold and refreshing, and she took the opportunity to wash her face and drink a little. At that moment, she noticed something strange. The reflection in the water showed not only her face, but also shadowy figures dancing around her. Frightened, she stepped back, but realized the shadows were not hostile. They seemed to want to communicate something. Determined to understand, Bridget closed her eyes and tried to feel the energy around her. She felt a deep connection with the forest, as if the shadows were guiding her to something important. Following her intuition, she continued her way, now more aware of the magical presence surrounding her. With each step, Bridget felt more connected to the forest. The shadows that once seemed frightening now guided her, showing her the way through the dense forest. She knew she was being tested, that the forest was measuring her courage and determination. With her heart full of hope and an open mind for the unknown, Bridget continued her journey, ready to face whatever awaited her. As Bridget delved deeper into the forest, the challenges became more intense. The rugged terrain and dense vegetation made passage difficult, and each step required redoubled effort and attention. The shadows danced around her, creating shapes and figures that sometimes seemed friendly, sometimes scary. Bridget knew she needed to remain calm and determined to continue. At one point, Bridget found an old wooden bridge, partially destroyed, crossing a rushing river. Crossing the bridge would be dangerous, but she had no other choice. Carefully, she took the first step on the bridge, feeling it creak under her weight. Her heart beat faster, and each step felt like a bigger challenge than the last. When she was almost in the middle of the bridge, a strong gust of wind shook the structure, and Bridget had to hold on with all her strength not to fall. She took a deep breath, trying to calm herself, and continued, step by step, until she finally reached the other side. Relief washed over her, but she knew many challenges lay ahead. Walking along a narrow trail, Bridget encountered a group of wild animals blocking her path. They were wolves, large and imposing, with eyes shining with curiosity. She felt a chill down her spine but tried not to show fear. Slowly, she took her protective amulet and murmured a prayer, hoping the wolves would recognize her good intentions. To her surprise, the wolves backed away, making way for her. Bridget felt a wave of gratitude and continued her journey, now more aware of the amulet's power and the protection it offered. Each step forward was a victory, and her confidence grew with each challenge overcome. However, the obstacles kept coming. In a moment of carelessness, Bridget fell into a hunter's trap, getting caught in a net. She felt desperate for a moment but quickly remembered her dagger. Skillfully, she cut the net and freed herself, promising to be more careful from then on. Each challenge overcome strengthened Bridget, making her more resilient and determined. She knew she was only at the beginning of her journey and that the true secrets of the luminous shadow forest were yet to be discovered. With renewed courage, she pressed on, ready to face whatever the forest had in store for her. As she advanced, Bridget began to notice signs of a mystical presence. Ancient symbols carved into the trees and markings on the ground indicated she was entering an even more magical and protected area of the forest. The shadows around her seemed to whisper secrets, and she felt she was getting closer to something important. With determination and courage, Bridget pressed on, ready to uncover the mysteries that awaited her. While exploring a clearing illuminated by starlight, Bridget encountered her first mythical creature, a dryad, a forest spirit. The dryad had an ethereal appearance, with long green hair like leaves and eyes that shone like stars. Her presence was calm and serene, and Bridget felt instantly drawn to her beauty and grace. The dryad, named Aisling, approached Bridget with a welcoming smile. "Welcome, Bridget," she said with a voice as soft as the wind. "We have been waiting for you." The forest recognizes those with a pure heart and a courageous spirit. Bridget, in awe, asked, "Who are you? And why do I feel such a strong connection to this place?" Aisling replied, "We are the guardians of the forest, ancient beings who protect this sacred sanctuary. You have been chosen, Bridget, to discover the secrets this forest holds. Your courage and determination brought you here." From this encounter, Bridget began to interact with other magical creatures of the forest. She met fairies that glowed like fireflies, animal spirits that communicated through whispers in the wind, and ancestral entities guarding ancient knowledge. Each encounter enriched her understanding of the forest and her own journey. One particularly clear night, Bridget found a circle of ancient stones where a group of magical beings gathered to celebrate a ritual. The stones were covered in ancient runes, and the air was thick with energy. Bridget was invited to participate in the ritual, where she learned about the harmony between the natural and supernatural worlds. During the ritual, a vision came to Bridget. She saw a majestic tree at the heart of the forest, its deep roots intertwined with stories and memories of the past. The tree was a source of power and wisdom, and Bridget felt that her mission was to find this tree and uncover its secrets. Bridget's journey through the luminous shadow forest was just beginning, and each step took her deeper into mystery and magic. With the help of the magical beings she met along the way, she was determined to uncover the forest's secrets and fulfill her destiny. As she continued her journey, Bridget met an ancient sage, a druid who lived secluded in the forest. The druid, named Ewan, shared profound knowledge about nature and the universe's mysteries. He taught her to read the forest signs and understand the animals' language. Bridget felt immensely grateful for these teachings and knew they would be essential for her journey. Every day, Bridget became more connected to the forest and its creatures. She developed a special friendship with a small fairy named Nuala, who accompanied her on her explorations and helped her find safe paths. Together, they discovered hidden and enchanted places where magic was stronger and secrets were deeper. Bridget's confidence grew with each encounter and each new knowledge acquired. She knew she was getting closer to the heart of the forest, where the oldest and most powerful secrets were kept. With courage and determination, Bridget continued her journey, ready to face the challenges ahead and discover the truth about the luminous shadow forest. Bridget ventured deeper into the luminous shadow forest, aware that the toughest challenges were yet to come. During her journey, she heard stories about a mysterious cave where an ancient forest guardian resides, a being that tests the courage and purity of heart of those who dare to enter. She knew this would be her next destination, a crucial test that could determine the success or failure of her mission. The cave was located deep within the forest, hidden among centuries-old trees and surrounded by thick mist. As she approached, Bridget felt a chill down her spine, but also a renewed determination. She knew she needed to enter and face whatever awaited her. Entering the cave, Bridget was enveloped by darkness. The only light came from small crystals embedded in the walls, glowing with a pale, mysterious light. The air was cold, and the sound of dripping water echoed through the depths. Bridget advanced carefully, each step echoing in the cave's vastness. In the heart of the cave, Bridget encountered the guardian, a large white wolf with piercing eyes that shone like stars. The wolf, named Phelan, was imposing and majestic, radiating an aura of power and wisdom. He observed her for a moment before speaking. "Welcome, Bridget," Phelan said in a deep, resonant voice. "You have come this far, but now you must prove your courage and purity of heart. Only those who are truly worthy can continue." Bridget, feeling the weight of responsibility, nodded. "I am ready to face the test, Phelan. My determination is strong, and my heart is pure." Phelan took a step forward and began to circle around Bridget. "This test is not just of physical strength, but of courage and sincerity. You will face your greatest fears and make decisions that will test your integrity." Suddenly, the cave began to change. The walls moved, and Bridget found herself in a moonlit clearing. In the center of the clearing was a stone table with two objects, a shining sword and a golden chalice. Phelan spoke again. "Choose wisely, Bridget. The sword represents power and strength. The chalice represents wisdom and sacrifice. The choice you make will reflect who you truly are." Bridget felt the pressure of the choice. The sword was tempting, symbolizing power and protection. However, the chalice seemed more aligned with her journey of discovery and inner growth. After a moment of reflection, Bridget reached out and took the golden chalice. Phelan smiled, his eyes shining with approval. "You have chosen wisely, Bridget. True strength comes from the heart and wisdom. You have proven yourself worthy." Suddenly, the vision of the clearing disappeared, and Bridget found herself back in the cave, standing before Phelan. The wolf bowed his head in respect. You have passed the test, Bridget. Continue your journey with the forest's blessing. Remember that courage and wisdom are your greatest weapons. With a renewed heart and even greater determination, Bridget left the cave. She felt stronger and more confident than ever. She knew there was much more to discover in the luminous shadow forest, but she was now prepared to face any challenge she encountered. Her journey was far from over, and each step brought her closer to uncovering the forest's deepest secrets. Leaving the cave, Bridget continued her journey through the forest, now with a sense of renewal and purpose. She felt stronger and ready to face whatever lay ahead. During her walk, she found a path covered with bright flowers leading to a hidden village in the heart of the forest. The village was inhabited by a mystical people known as the City, enchanted beings who lived in harmony with nature. As she approached, Bridget was greeted by a woman of ethereal beauty with silver hair and eyes that shone like stars. She introduced herself as Ivan, leader of the City. "Welcome, Bridget. We knew you would come. The forest told us of your journey." Bridget, surprised and curious, asked, "How do you know about me? And why am I here?" Ivan smiled gently. "We are ancient guardians of the forest, connected to its energies and secrets. We felt your presence and know you seek the deepest secrets of the luminous shadow forest. We are here to help you." The city village was a place of indescribable beauty. The houses were made of natural materials, harmoniously integrated with the surrounding forest. Vibrant flowers adorned every corner, and the gentle music of nearby rivers created a constant melody. Bridget felt instantly welcomed and at peace. Ivan led Bridget to a large tree in the village's center, known as the Tree of Life. Its deep roots and extensive branches symbolized the connection between the physical and spiritual worlds. Ivan explained, "This tree is the forest's essence, a source of power and wisdom. Many come to us seeking answers, but few are worthy of receiving them. You, Bridget, are one of the few." Bridget felt a wave of gratitude and humility. "What must I do to continue my journey? How can I prove my worth?" Ivan took Bridget's hands and looked deeply into her eyes. "Your journey so far has already proven your courage and wisdom. However, there is still more to learn. You must form an alliance with the city. Together, we can protect the forest and uncover its secrets." Bridget accepted Ivan's offer, and the city welcomed her as an ally. During her time in the village, Bridget learned about the city's ancient traditions and magic. They taught her the language of plants and animals and how to use nature's energy to heal and protect. Bridget felt herself growing in knowledge and power, becoming a true forest guardian. As time passed, Bridget and the city formed a strong and unbreakable bond. Together, they explored unknown areas of the forest, discovering hidden secrets and facing ancient dangers. Bridget felt she was becoming part of the forest itself, a dedicated guardian protecting and preserving its magic and mysteries. One day, while exploring a remote part of the forest with Ivan, Bridget found an ancient artifact, a silver mirror with runic inscriptions around it. Ivan explained, "This mirror is a portal to the spirit world. Through it, you can communicate with the ancestors and seek wisdom beyond this world." Bridget felt a growing excitement. She knew this artifact would be crucial for her mission. With the mirror in hand, Bridget prepared for the next stage of her journey. With her new allies by her side, she felt more prepared than ever to face the final confrontation and uncover the deepest secrets of the luminous shadow forest. Bridget's journey led her to the heart of the luminous shadow forest, where the Tree of Life shone with a golden and mystical light. Alongside her city allies, she felt prepared to face the final confrontation that would determine the forest's fate. She knew dark forces wished to corrupt and destroy the magic protecting this sacred sanctuary. As they approached the Tree of Life, a dense fog began to form around them, and shadowy figures emerged from the shadows. They were the servants of Balor, an ancient evil being who sought to dominate the forest and subject it to his power. Balor was known for his evil eye, capable of destroying everything it looked at. Bridget felt a chill down her spine, but her determination was unwavering. She knew she needed to protect the forest at all costs. With the silver mirror in hand, she prepared to face Balor and his servants. Iden and the city formed a circle around the Tree of Life, chanting ancient songs that strengthened the forest's magical defenses. Balor emerged from the shadows, an imposing being with an eye that glowed with a malevolent and destructive light. His presence emanated darkness and despair. He laughed upon seeing Bridget and her allies, a cold and cruel laugh. "Do you think you can stop me? This forest will be mine, and you will all be destroyed." Bridget took a deep breath and raised the silver mirror. "Balor, your evil will not prevail here. The power of nature and ancient magic is stronger than your darkness. We are here to protect the forest, and you will be defeated." With a roar of fury, Balor attacked. His evil eye launched a burst of dark energy towards Bridget, but she used the mirror to reflect the attack, diverting the energy back to Balor. He screamed in pain, retreating for a moment. But Balor was powerful, and the confrontation was just beginning. The city used their magic to create barriers and deflect Balor's attacks, while Bridget moved with agility and precision, using the mirror to reflect the attacks and weaken the enemy. The battle was intense, each moment filled with tension and danger. Bridget felt her energy being drained, but she knew she couldn't give up. In a moment of desperation, Balor concentrated all his malevolent power into a final attack. A wave of darkness spread through the forest, threatening to consume everything in its path. Bridget knew she needed to act quickly. With all her strength, she raised the mirror and channeled the Tree of Life's light through it, creating a ray of pure, bright light. The light hit Balor, piercing his darkness and destroying his evil. With a final scream, Balor was consumed by the light, and his body turned to ashes. The shadows retreated, and the fog dissipated. The battle was won. Bridget fell to her knees, exhausted but victorious. The city surrounded her, their expressions of relief and gratitude. Iden approached and placed a gentle hand on Bridget's shoulder. "You did it, Bridget. The forest is safe thanks to you. Your courage and wisdom saved us." Bridget smiled, feeling a deep peace and satisfaction. She knew her journey had come to an end, but the knowledge and connection she had gained would stay with her forever. The luminous shadow forest was safe, and its magic would continue to shine for future generations. With Balor's defeat and the luminous shadow forest's safety secured, Bridget felt it was time to return to her village. The journey had been long and full of challenges, but she had emerged stronger and wiser. She bid her city friends farewell, promising always to honor the friendship and teachings she had received. Iden gifted Bridget a small amulet, a symbol of the alliance between the city and humans. "Take this with you, Bridget. Let it remind you of our friendship and the forest's magic." With a heart full of gratitude, Bridget set off towards Dun Sirene. The journey back was peaceful, and each step made her reflect on the incredible journey she had lived. Upon arriving at her village, she was greeted with joy and celebration. Her family and friends were proud of her courage and determination. Bridget shared her stories and the lessons learned, passing on the city's wisdom and the importance of protecting nature. Inspired by her adventures, her village began to honor ancient Celtic customs even more, performing rituals and celebrations to thank the forest spirits. Despite returning to her routine, Bridget knew her life had changed forever. She continued to explore and learn, always seeking new knowledge and experiences. The amulet Iden had given her became a symbol of her connection to the luminous shadow forest and her mission to protect nature's magic and wisdom. Sometimes, Bridget returned to the forest to visit her city friends and renew her energy. Each visit was a reminder of the power of courage, wisdom, and friendship. She knew that no matter what challenges she faced, there would always be light and hope. Bridget's journey is a testament to the power of determination and a pure heart. She showed that with courage and wisdom, we can face any challenge and protect what is most precious. The luminous shadow forest continues to shine with magical light, an eternal symbol of hope and wonder. And so, Bridget's story in the luminous shadow forest became a legend, passed down from generation to generation, inspiring others to explore, protect, and value the nature and magic around them. May we always remember Bridget's lessons and find the courage to face our own challenges, knowing that the light of wisdom and love will guide us. Good night and enchanted dreams.